Mr. Prime Time.
Cheers to Sam coming back.
That's right. So, first of all, happy late Thanksgiving. How was your holiday, man?
Well, not too bad. Got to see the parents. Didn't really get to see anybody else. It was, an unusual, small kind of Thanksgiving. But again, it makes you, appreciate the little things. So tried to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird holiday, man. I'm the same thing with my parents. I saw them spend time on it, but you're like, you got to try to stay over here and don't do this. And you worry about every little thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, holy shit, man. But like I said, you appreciate more things. The weather's been nice in New Jersey, so you can get out of the house a little bit, which is cool. So we got a lot to talk about, man. We could start with Sam. We could start with Sam. We could start with the bingo board. We could start with Manish. You want to start with Manish?
I think that's probably what the viewers are tuning in for, because I was at work on Wednesday and I'm like getting all these DMs and all these tweets. Like, are you guys going live tonight? I'm like, what are you talking about? Live about what? And then I start seeing all the Twitter threads and I'm like, holy shit. So it seems like it's pretty much like two parts. The first part where his coworker at the Daily News was basically doing all the work for him and he was taking all the credit. And then the second part, which is just fucking weird, which is him stalking out Joe Douglas's kid at a Philadelphia Phillies game and then sending Douglas a text about what kind of ice cream he was eating. Like, what the fuck did he think was going to come of that? If it's all true, I mean, and the fact that he hasn't said anything to deny it yet, I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious that it's true. I mean,
well, I mean, the first things first, the beat writers, it's a very competitive thing, and they're all trying to get their own advantage. They all play some kind of game, whatever else. Manish has always been the odd man out because he likes to go scorched earth. He likes to be controversial. He likes to be weird. Like, he likes stirring up the pot, and what that does, it gets reactions. Fact of the matter is, negativity always sells. Chaos sells. Look at the headlines all throughout. You know what I mean? If you say Sam Darnold gave out 13 turkeys, nobody gives a shit. Sam Darnold got mono in a New York City nightclub. That is going to be headline news all over the place. So Manish, he had his market. He had his thing. He did what, that was his approach to everything. So I get it. And he pissed off all the other beat writers. So they were just waiting for a time to bury him. They were, it was him against them, obviously. Yep. And they all play the game, man, with the Jets front office and the coach and everybody else. They all play the games. Hey, listen, man, can I get this? I'll give you that. And if you don't think that's true, it is true. So Manish is the odd man out. We'll talk about him for a second, but these other guys all do it too. Yep. And here's my case.
We've seen it. We've seen it at training camp.
We've seen it firsthand ourselves.
Yes.
Like, we've seen how it works. Yes. Like, literally on the sideline, we see the game that gets played. So we know firsthand how it happens.
2 hours later, the tweet with the article, sources, so-and-so. Yeah.
And we know who the source is. We know who said it. We know how it all plays out. We won't go into full detail of that, but that's what happens. Mm-hmm. So you look at that. It's very, very weird, very awkward. But also, if you do Gase a favor or Joe Douglas a favor, they do a favor as well, where just look at this year. Le'Veon Bell was the star of camp on the same day at the same time, 3 articles at the same time. Le'Veon Bell is out of shape. He's slow and he's not fast. On the almost in minutes, like Samini, Connor Hughes, all at the same time. So they all play the game. So I get it. I understand some of the hardball. Hey, listen, they try negotiating and Manish, but when you get family involved and you do shit like that, crosses every fucking line in the book, dude. Like, there is no. So for me, it's twofold. First of all, what they did to that, what the New York Daily News did to that reporter, they should be ashamed of themselves. Like, if you're like, dude, like, how does the media, like the surrounding media, even not revolt and be like, listen, the New York Daily News needs to just, own up to their mistakes and cut the shit and be like, you can't do this to a writer, a fellow writer, and then keep feeding Manish today. Like, Manish to this day today is still fucking talking about Sam Darnold's going to play and all this stuff. The New York Daily News, somebody's got to hold them accountable, dude. That's fucking wild. And if this whole, Douglas's son thing, dude, what the fuck?
Like you were saying, that's where you draw the line. Like, all the other stuff with Manish, I mean, I hated him for the longest time because I hated how he always made it about himself. He was always trying to, like, portray the Jets as a circus, where, recently, the past couple of years, that's what they've been. So you want a guy like him in the media room asking the tough questions, trying to ask the tough follow-up questions, which a lot of the other guys don't do. But like you said, when you get family involved and you cross that line, there's no coming back from that. Like, I can't understand what he thought was going to come of that. Did he really think Douglas was going to be his inside source after he tries to blackmail him? No. I can't figure out for the life, like, what was he thinking trying to do that? So he buried himself. I mean,
yeah. So, there's probably two sides of the story. I know everybody's trying to get him on to talk about it. He's not. He's kind of hiding, just like last time and all the shit the fan he hid. a weird approach to take.
Well, I was going to say though, with the Wyatt thing, he at least made a statement that he didn't do that, right? Like, he was sending tweets out that wasn't his Twitter account. The fact that he's staying silent about this, I mean, you would think like this is a little bit more serious. He would want to get out in front of this, saying, "I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. That's not true." So his silence here, I think, kind of implicates him a little bit.
I mean, the New York Daily News silence in itself is weird. Like, dude, you got to fire this guy, man. Like, it's just, it's weird. A very, very weird thing. But I said, like, Manish, listen, all the criticism you get, everything, like, you cross lines here, man. Like, there's no coming back. We've had him on several times in the past, not recently, because it's just, there's not really a reason to, but other podcasts have him on, and good for them. That's what it takes. But weird, man. Weird stuff. I think for the rest of the media to kind of like poo-poo him and kind of insult him when they play some of the same games, not to the family level, but they play that whole game too. Like, let's not ignore what they do. They ask some softball questions. They cut these guys a lot of slack. They give us some articles that we know are complete bullshit. So, that's why I don't like any of them, to be honest with you.
And that's why I've, like going back further, like I said, I hated Manish for the longest time, but over the past couple of years, I felt like having somebody that was a little bit different from the rest of the media guys asking those questions, I thought that was important. But
yeah, I respect guys more if they would just tell us the shit that's really going on. Like, a lot of them have relationships with players. Like, if you want to leak the story nobody else wants to talk about, I respect that more. Like, Manish did himself a disservice because he had a lot of good content that got lost in the wind because nobody gives a shit because they don't believe half the other stuff he writes. He say he had good scoops on Revis and Wilkerson and even Gase and Jamal Adams. He had all these scoops, but after all the other horse shit he threw out there, nobody cares. Nobody wants to believe him. And sooner or later you find out what's true, what's not true. At this point, I don't believe, like, if you're a member of the media right now, you have a tough job because there's 85 million fan podcasts that probably are more informative than you. Not saying us, I'm saying in general. There's a lot of good podcasts out there, a lot of good blogs out there that are writing the same content. So the only thing they're really giving us is the exclusive interviews, like they're kind of reporting on it. And that's really it, so it's.
And that's also, I think, why you start to see some of these other media guys try to transition into the podcast world and the live stream world. And I guess
create their own bingo boards, man.
The bingo board world as well. I mean,
dude, I saw that shit. And it's like, I'm going through my timeline and I'm like, I read this tweet. Listen, I have this really good idea. I'm going to create a bingo board called Jets Tank and come up with all bad things that are happening. This is last week. I'm like, what a clever fucking idea, dude. That's a great idea. But let me save you some time. Let us, because half of your staff already follows us, let us just share what you already know. Here's Primetime's bingo board. Just use that. I think we got blocked too, which is like, how many really blocking us for? Like, how can we? Why did we get blocked? You stole our idea and you're taking credit for it.
Because you called them out. That's why.
Yeah, I don't care, dude. Like, listen, we're not here to make friends. We've lost most of our friends anyway because of this. Who gives a shit? So, Manish thing is weird. We were doing Jets. Let's talk Jets bingo. We have a very official name for it on Sunday during the live stream.
I will be updating the board, and it will be ready before the game. No last minute bullshit.
So now the big story is Sam Darnold is playing, and I want to go through this on 4 different levels because, and I'll take blame for this. I was going to do a show last night, Diane, and I completely apologize. My Thanksgiving dinner got thrown completely upside down, like completely nowhere near where I thought it was going to end up and everything else. So Sam Darnold is playing back, and there's to me, there's 4 levels of this. So if you just bear with me, I want to go through it one by one with you so we can get your takes on it, and I'll share mine.
Okay.
From an organizational standpoint, you have 6 games left. Sam is deemed healthy enough to throw the football. He feels good. He had a good week of practice, which they do every week, but he was throwing the good ball well. The concern is they don't know how he's going to react to getting hit, which to me is different. That's different. That's a different stance to take because, like that's like say for a boxer, you can hit pads all day long. But if you're gun shy getting hit, you shell up, you don't know what to do, you get hesitant, you're a dead man walking. So they're in a tough spot, I think, because if he's ready to go apparently, and you want to say, hey, we're playing to win, you got to play Sam Darnold. So just from that perspective, how do you think the team handled it? And do you think they're rushing him back too fast?
No, in fact, I think they kind of handled it the right way. They gave him the extra couple weeks. He had initially come back from the injury on that Thursday night game and played a little bit. So, like they've actually said, I think it comes down to more about what the doctors say about how much more damage he could do if he potentially gets hurt. But yeah, if he's willing to go out there, if he wants to go out there, whether it's to salvage his Jets career or, like we've talked about, if he just wants to, try and up his value for somebody else, open up some eyes elsewhere around the league, I give him credit for that. He should want to go out there. He's a competitor.
Well,
he's still trying to make a name for himself in this league.
I'm not at the Sam level yet. I'm not even at his level yet. Just from the Jets as a team perspective, are they doing the right thing? Are they rushing him back?
But I'm saying, though, that Sam probably has some input in that. If Sam didn't feel comfortable playing, I'm sure he would say something that, hey, I'm not ready to go. So the team, I'm sure, is going to give him that option to say, hey, are you good to go?
Okay. For me, in this situation, I don't trust Sam in saying, do you want to play or not? Because the kid wants to play. Like any competitor, you're always going to want to play and do that. So to me, it's like, as an organization, okay, listen, you decide you want to play him. Fine. From Adam Gase's perspective now. So now let's go the next level down. Now he's getting his quarterback back with his weapons. All the weapons are back, which is fine. Now the next question is twofold. Does Gase open up the playbook, or does he coach ultra conservative because he's scared to get Sam hit?
No, he has to open up he opened up the playbook the last 2 weeks for Flacco. We were taking some deep shots. We got Perriman the ball deep. We got Mims involved. He was going deep a little bit, not as much as we would like, but certainly we've put up over 25 points each of the last 2 games. So you open things up enough. If he's ready to play, then you have to open up the offense. This is his audition. It's 6 games. You got to open things up. It's a no-brainer.
Here's my take on that. See, if you decide from the organizational level that Sam Darnold can play, you feel comfortable with it. From the coaching level, don't coach scared and don't coach conservative. If he can play, he can play. Let it fly. Yeah. Granted, I've been getting drunk for the last 6 weeks on the first and second down running plays, but if they're all full speed ahead, the last thing I want to see is run, screen pass. Like, let the kid throw the fucking ball. Like, don't play scared. Don't play conservative. Yep. These are all his weapons. This is where this, in theory, should be his time to really show what the hell he has, because everybody's there. Here's your first problem with that: is your right tackle position's a mess. George Fant's out. Adoga's out, or not out. He's hurt. It's going to probably be Connor. Yeah, Connor McDermott is,
and Lewis is questionable too.
And Lewis is questionable too for non-injury concerns. Which
was kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Is that a COVID thing?
Linked to a practice baby, or
there's some kind of now they're holding somebody accountable. Yeah, 10 weeks into the season.
I don't know. Maybe it was this. I don't know. Who knows?
Clown. Okay. So now if it's like, all right, we're going to say open up the playbook. If your right tackle position is going to be a shit show, which I pretty much guarantee it's going to be against a very good Miami defense, Dowell Loggins and Gase have to change their game plan. Put running backs in the backfield. Go, roll extra your coverage, roll tight end, roll your blocking to the right, do all these different things. Yep. But let this kid play, man. Don't handcuff him. You've committed to it. Now, if he goes out and gets hurt in the first quarter, that's the risk you're taking. That's football. But you got to do the right thing here now.
Completely agree. It's 6 games left, and you have to find an answer about him one way or another. I know most of the people that are probably watching this right now think we already know he's a bust.
I'm getting there.
I know you. I know what you're setting me up for. I know where this is going already.
Dude, we're going level by level here, dude.
I know.
So now it's the Sam Darnold level now. So now we're at level 3.
Yep.
Now he's here, and he is trying to silence a lot of critics and a lot of doubters, because the funny thing is, like, some of the puppets the Jets use in the media are saying it. Sam Darnold can never stay healthy. The kid is this, the kid is that. When you don't really say, listen, a lot of the reasons why these things have happened is because you handled this whole situation like shit. Terrible offensive line, no weapons, all this stuff. So this is truly the first time we can see what Sam is, because he actually has legitimate receivers. So from Sam Darnold's perspective, I know why he wants to play. First of all, he wants to be there for his teammates. He's a competitor. He wants to be on the field. He also probably wants to silence everybody. But listen, I'm tired of getting shit on for the last 7 weeks. Everybody says they don't read the newspapers, don't go online. Dude, they all know it's being said. Everyone knows it's being said about themselves. So I give Sam credit for that. I'm wondering, at what point, dude, for me, honestly, I have a funny feeling you're going to see an altercation on the sideline this week where Sam's going to get fed up with the fucking play calling and be like, this is bullshit. I honestly think so, because I think he feels a lot of pressure now to perform. And if things don't go right or the play calling is horseshit, he's going to be like, you're going to see what we saw last year. Remember we saw last year?
Yeah. Well, I think that also kind of comes down to how much Gase feels like his job is on the line. If Gase genuinely feels like he's coaching for his job right now, I don't think he has any choice
the next level
but to try to open up the playbook and make Sam look good to salvage himself.
So I think Sam wanting to play makes sense. I mean, I'm here. I understand where everybody's at. I see where if he's ready to play, you got to play him. If you do that, you got to let him. You got to let it fly. And Sam has got to step up too, because right now, no matter who it is, nobody's going to tolerate excuses. Nope, there's just not, because there is so much attention to this now. Like, the only reason to watch Sunday's game, we finally have a reason, which is nice, is Sam is playing. Now you want to see what is he going to do. And here is the question I have for you. And we did a little thing on Talk Jets Radio on Twitter, is what do you want to see out of Sam Darnold? And the answers are wild, dude, because this is the strangest time to be a Jets fan, other than rooting for 0-16 and everything else, is are we going to get our quarterback, which he is now, getting him back, and we're rooting for either a competitive loss, so we want to see him play well, but we want him to lose, so we get the number 1 pick, or like you want to. Some people are saying, let him play like shit so we can get out. Let him get hurt so we don't like the worst case scenario right now is a serious injury to Sam Darnold, where not only it ends this year, it goes into next year. Your trade value is out the fucking window. Then you're really screwed. So asking for him to get hurt is just ridiculous on every level. But there's people say, like, what do you look for? Is this truly a 6-game audition for him?
It's sad, but yeah, it is. And I understand a lot of the opinions out there. Trevor Lawrence, once in a generational guy, but me personally, as a fan, forget being an analyst and analyzing Sam's game right now. As a fan, at my heart, I cannot root against this kid. I can't do it. If the organization had surrounded him with talent and the right offensive coach, and we're talking, real circumstances, third-year quarterback, okay, fine. The bar should be at a certain level where, you're not making those rookie mistakes anymore and you get judged on your play. But look around the last 30, 40 years, top 5 picks at quarterback. Name one guy other than maybe David Carr that's been set up worse than Sam Darnold. I don't think you can find it. From a coaching perspective, offensive line, wide receivers, top down, complete disaster. So at the heart of it, I can't root against this kid. Now, as far as what's in the best interest of the organization, getting that number 1 pick is priority. Not because of the quarterback necessarily, but because I think that attracts the head coach. That's why that's the priority.
So, but how do you and this is the thing that everybody keeps giving me over 6 games. What do you need to see over 6 games? Because now if he goes 3-3 and plays mediocre,
then you don't have a
so
choice.
fucked.
Well, you don't have a choice. If he wins 3 games, he's back. Period.
But I would say he goes 2-4. No, but you missed my point though. If they go 2-4 and he plays mediocre, he plays inconsistent average,
then you're fucked.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So now the thing is, no
choice but to bring him back though, because are you going to trade draft picks to move up? I mean, is that what we're talking about doing now?
But that's what my question is. Like, everybody has a ton of hot takes here. 6 games, it's an audition. So for me personally, I think there's a lot of pressure on him to you can't play 2 good games, 2 subpar games and 1 medium. He's got to come out. He's got to come out. Sorry, I'm burping up my dinner. He's coming out with his guns blazing, dude. Like, he has to. And Gase has to help him. Now, will he? I'm just not sure if Gase is willing to do that. I don't know.
Again, that's what I was saying. That's where it comes down to whether or not he's actually on the hot seat or not. If he's genuinely on the hot seat and he thinks he's out the door, he needs to either try to save his own job or try and set up his next job somewhere else as probably an offensive coordinator or whatever else he's going to do. So he has to open it up.
So now you're rooting for Sam to play well, okay?
You're rooting for the defense to look like shit because you want to lose.
That I think is a saving grace. Is the secondary is a complete mess. The young guys are playing, but they can't cover for shit. But the thing is, if Sam plays well and they start winning games, my biggest concern, and it came out today in the media already, was, and fucking Adam Gase said it.
What?
He finally has his weapons.
Oh yeah.
Now we can see what our offense was supposed to be like.
Yep.
And I'm like, holy shit! If Sam comes back and plays well, and he goes 2-4 or 3-3, could it be that? Yeah, Sam's going to stay. Wonderful. So's the fucking coach.
I mean, that's part of what I've been saying all along, that I've never felt like Gase has been on the hot seat because he still has the excuse in his back pocket that he hasn't had all his weapons and he hasn't had his quarterback out there. Now, for the last 6 games, he's going to have an opportunity to show with all his weapons and with his young quarterback that he's actually making progress. The same way he fucking duped everybody last year, going 6-2 down the stretch. He'll have another opportunity this year to do the same fucking thing.
Real quick, we'll answer this one. We'll go back to the conversation. Who do you pick if Trevor stays in school? I honestly don't think Trevor's staying in school. So if the Jets have a #1 pick, I think Trevor, well, assuming that Adam Gase is gone, Trevor's not staying in school. I just don't see it, man. I really don't. So that's the whole thing. So now it's like, is this going to give Gase a second life where it's like, okay, I got the quarterback back. He said he's ready to go. And now he has all his weapons. And Chris Herndon came out of witness protection. Yep. He's kind of playing well. He has his boy Frank Gore there running the ball. Unfortunately, Piron's out. But, dude, I so now as a Jets fan, and I've been thinking about this all day. I've been perplexed all fucking day. Like, I'm like,
what do you root for?
First of all, we're rooting for losses. We want to go 0-16. But then it's like, do I have to root for Sam to play like shit? Sam I got to root for him to play like to make sure Gase is fired. Or do if you'd be happy that Sam plays well, but does that mean Gase is going to stay? Like, this is a club, dude. Honestly, watch our live stream on Sunday. We'll be live for the game on Sunday. I'm not even sure what to root for, dude. Wins, losses, Sam, no Sam. Like, but what do you do? Like, you don't even know. Like, the fact that this could save Gase's job in theory, because if it's a 6-game audition for Sam, it could very well, Joe Douglas could say, you know what? This is your 6-game audition. Not Joe Douglas. Fucking Chris Johnson. This is your audition because now you have your guys.
Personally, I think that we are well past the point of Adam Gase auditioning for anything. He had, like we just said, he had the 6-2 stretch last year where he fooled you. Okay, so now you were supposed to build off that this year with your own guys that you added in the draft and free agency. You're fucking 0-10. So you didn't build off that. So it wasn't, it was a fluke. Joe Douglas was trying to say, oh, no, it wasn't. No, it was a fluke. So at this point, like, Adam Gase should not be auditioning for anything. Sam Darnold, on the other hand, yeah, I mean, I don't see why we can't root for Sam Darnold to play well and the team to still lose. And that's kind of the boat that I fall in. I want to see Sam play well. I'll continue to say the organization has fucked him every which way. And so that's why I can't root against him. I think he's going to be a successful quarterback in this league somewhere, probably not with the Jets, but I want to see him do well. I can't root against him.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic on so many different levels, man. And it's like, and then it was like, I was kind of not laughing, but I'm like, all right, he finally gets his weapons back, but then now you have Lewis, the mysterious Lewis situation, and Fant's out. Like, you wish you could have the whole offensive line, but then I'm like, all right,
and even with that, I'll say, you know what? It's never going to be perfect. So at some point for Darnold, he has to kind of, put some guys on his back and be able to carry a team. I didn't think he was going to be able to do that this year with what's around him, but you know what? You got 6 games left. You finally have your receivers out there. Show that you can make up for something not being perfect. So if you're missing one offensive lineman, that should not be enough, for the offense to just stall out and only put up 10 points after we had some success the last 2 weeks. So he doesn't get a pass for that, I don't think.
Yeah, and the other thing is, too, they have Elfline that they signed him. You have Cameron Clark. There's some other guys that maybe can help out a little.
Play Clark.
Yeah, I mean, Clark, at some point. But this is such a weird situation, man. So friggin' weird. Like, you don't know what to root for. Like, you want to see Sam play well, but then it's like if he wins a couple games and they're going to get, like, if you have 2 wins and Jaguars, you could, I don't know.
If he
so weird.
If he legitimately lights it up, forget if he throws for 175 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, the games that he's had pretty much all year, or even worse than that. Let's say he actually lights it up, 300 yards, 350, maybe throws 1 or 2 picks, over 6 games. If he does that, you're feeling good about the quarterback position going into next year. So, isn't that worth it?
But what you fear is this. See, for me, no matter how he plays on Sunday, it's not the evaluation. The evaluation is all 6 games. So if he throws for 310 on Sunday, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and they play great, but he comes out against the Raiders and he's fucking 10 for 25 and 120 yards, that inconsistency is what everybody worries about. So, like, no matter what happens tomorrow, what's today? Saturday? Today's Friday. Sunday.
Friday.
Yeah, fuck, my days are all fucked up. But whatever happens on Sunday, Monday's not going to be like Sam could stay or Sam can go. No, we got 6 games here. So we got to see what's that. But if he wins on Sunday, then you're like, oh, shit, dude.
Yep.
Please keep rolling, because if you're like, it's just, I've never been like.
Like you just said, though, if he does do it consistently and we are winning multiple games, that does become a problem with the head coach, I think. Because I still think right now at this point, ownership and Joe Douglas have not decided that he's going to be fired, that he's still in position to be able to save his job.
And the quotes that keep coming out were, this is a chance to show us what our offense could have been. But like, you could already hear like, well, I finally have this, I finally have that, and now to me, the way that Joe Flacco was playing, getting the ball downfield to Perriman and all these plays to Mims, Sam has to do the same thing, and he should be given the chance to do the same thing. And if he doesn't, he becomes check down Charlie, whatever else. Then you wonder, like, all right, what are you not seeing here? Is it like, what the hell's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to think the last time we're in a situation where I'm so torn about what I want to happen. This is it. Like, I honestly, like, I've been so focused on 0-16, and now I'm like,
I think the closest thing for me was probably with Chad Pennington, because I was a huge Pennington fan growing up. And then once the opportunity was there to potentially get far, it was like, all right, do we want the short-term fix to give us a chance to actually win a Super Bowl right away, even though it might only be 1 or 2 years? Or do we hope that Chad could still resurrect his career, get the shoulder right, and, we stick with the guy that's already been there? I mean, that's probably the closest thing that I can think of.
Yeah, so a lot to discover here. Indie Colt, what's up, man? Thank you so much. You don't have to do that. We answered all the questions we can. Assuming Sam plays well, but they continue to lose, what do you think the draft haul the Jets will get for him? And what happened with the live chat last night? The live chat last night was because I got completely tied up much later than I thought I was going to be with my family. It was completely unanticipated, so I apologize for that. If Sam plays well, but they continue to lose, I mean, you're building up his stock value, because right now the rap on him has been what? It's been he's always hurt. He can't stretch the field. He can't do this. He's inconsistent. His game management, his clock management. I mean, for me, he's got a lot to prove, but he's got to take the bull by the horns now. Like, we talked about it. Like, sometimes I think people tend to baby him a little bit. Like, oh, he has this. Now it's like, dude, you got to get everything going as fast as possible, because now your New York Jets career is kind of depending on it. Like, nobody's going to feel bad for you. Like, half the fan base, most of them already written him off. So he's got to shine, dude. Yeah, no argument there. I mean, there's no excuses now at this point. But as far as the trade value goes that they can get back, I think right now you're probably looking at it, a late second round pick and, maybe a fourth and a fifth, something like that. But if he goes out there and he lights it up over these last 6 games, you might be talking about a late first round pick from a team like, the Steelers or maybe the Niners in the middle of the first round, if you're lucky, or a future first round pick. I think there's a lot of teams that are going to be interested in Sam, believe it or not. All right, so we'll go to the questions here. Let's see. Snoopy coming out with fire already. Wow. Snoopy, Sam is done in New York prime time, and 6 games won't change that. He had 3 years. It's not even about the evaluation of Sam over 6 games. It's if he ends up winning 2 or 3 games and you're not in position to take Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, he's back. It's not even disputable. I don't think you're not just taking Kyle Trask at the end of or in the middle of the first round. You're not doing that. I don't think. Nope. I don't think he's done. I think he's got. This is truly a 6-game audition, man. Yep. Collateral damage, guys. That's what Sam is thinking. I mean, Sam is a victim of collateral damage at this point, but I mean, I don't. It's interesting, and that's one thing. Like, from Sam's perspective, I wouldn't be mad at him at all if he just said, you know what, like, I shouldn't be auditioning for you guys. You know what I mean? Like, he should, in some ways, he should feel insulted that, like, with everything that you've given me, now I'm supposed to audition for you. Like, who the fuck are you guys? Yeah, exactly. And like we've talked about, I mean, his career is probably better off going somewhere else, getting a fresh start, with a competent organization, a real head coach that has their shit together, that has weapons in place. That's probably what's best for him. Selfishly, I'd like to see him do it here, though. Yeah, and you know what? And the thing is, just say in theory, if they win 3 games and they're like, oh man, this offense is clicking, all this stuff, we're gonna bring back Gase. If I'm Sam Darnold, I follow the path the NFL is taking. Be like, you know what? I want out. Trade me. Pull Jamal Adams. Pull like a lot of these players have done it. You see players all across the league now doing it. Except for Golden Tate. Could you imagine Golden Tate get fell in space. But yeah, like Gase is returning, I want out. You win 3 games, we bring Gase back, and then Sam demands a trade like Jamal did. Now who's our quarterback? Would you? James Morgan starting 2021. Yeah, but if I was Sam, I would want to come back for Gase. No fucking way. Same thing with Trevor Lawrence. If they try to sell Trevor Lawrence on the idea of working with Gase, fuck you guys. I'm not going into that. Yeah, I'd be completely out. But now this guy's got to be trolling us. Am I the only one that thinks Adam Gase deserves at least one more shot with Trevor Lawrence? Sonny, yes, I feel confident in saying, yes, you are the only one. There is not one fucking fan that likes Adam Gase now. If you do, you're just trolling us, or you're a Dolphin fan or something. I really don't think I've seen one person, aside from that comment, that thinks Gase deserves another shot. Who the hell is going to play right tackle? Connor McDermott, if Idoga can't go. I don't know why Cameron Clark can't play there. I know they kind of projected him more as a guard at the NFL level, but I think his entire college career was at right tackle. So Sam's future is cemented. He'll join Tannehill as another former Gase quarterback to take his team to a conference championship game. I mean, I don't think so, man. I think he's got a chance to do something here in the next 6 games. I really do. I think the Jets, they're going to be in a tough spot if he does play well, and they're like, now we're going to ship him out. I think if he does play well, it's going to result in some wins. Exactly. Do you agree with that or no?
Exactly. I think this game Sunday is very winnable, and then the two at the end of the year with the Browns and the Patriots. I think both those games are very winnable.
Sam can scream at Loggins, and Loggins will pass it on to Gase. Oh, seriously, dude. And did you hear how it actually goes down?
Yep.
Did you hear the process?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So Loggins calls out a play number. He tells Gase what it is, and Gase either says pass or fail, and then that goes to the quarterback. What? Like,
can't make it up at this point, dude.
And then the funny thing is,
didn't they also say that the one deep ball that Flacco threw for the interception, like towards the end of the game against New England? That was Gase's call. And
the other thing is, like, well, he's like, Gase is like, well, I got to help Loggins with the time management, the 2-minute drill, 3-minute drill. I'm like, if that's you helping him, it's as bad as I've ever seen.
It's funny. Like the last 2 weeks, he's actually burying himself with a lot of the things that he says, especially the fucking 2-minute stuff.
Are we cheering for Sam or cheering for the Jets? Very different paths to take. Not fair to Sam, but he needs to go to another team. Jets need to lose and get Trevor.
Jets need to lose to get the number 1 pick, not necessarily to get Trevor, in my opinion. The number 1 pick gets you the head coach. Then the head coach gets to decide, hopefully, I like Sam and I like what we can get back in a trade to build around Sam, or I want to start fresh with Trevor Lawrence and have my guy for 15 years and start over on a rookie contract and just work with him. That should be the new head coach deciding that.
Yeah, the other thing too, Gase said today was like, oh, we got to get Ty Johnson and Josh Adams more things. We don't want to feature Frank Gore exclusively.
Oh, they will.
Like he should been like Pinocchio, like right out. Like, dude, you lying bastard. Like just do you guys think that this will be a close game? Well, who's starting? Because Tua's got a banged up thumb. So if Fitzpatrick plays, I actually have more faith in Fitzpatrick lighting us up than Tua because our secondary is a mess.
I worry about Tua. I worry about Tua with his mobility a little bit. Even though he's a young quarterback and you might be able to confuse him a little bit, I don't think our defense has really been all that creative this year. I would personally take my chances with Fitz.
Yeah, I think Fitz will take complete advantage of our secondary. I think Tua could be confused with certain things by Greg Williams. But I mean, if Sam plays well, man,
it's going to be a close game. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be a close game.
Yep.
We'll wait for predictions at the end, but it's going to be a close game.
What if he gets benched mid-game for Flacco? Well, why is he benched? Is he hurt? Is it poor play? If he's playing poor, they're not going to bench him, man. They're going to let him play. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. But just, again, if he did get benched, that would probably be the last time you see him. Whether it's because he gets hurt or just poor performance and they pull him for some reason, which I don't think they would do. But yeah, I mean, if he ends up leaving a game at any point this year, he's probably not coming back again.
Prime time, I want to see Sam make a decent effort, show some spark, but Jets lose.
Exactly what I want. 40-35, keep the number 1 pick alive. Sam plays well, throws for 300 and 3-4 touchdowns. That's what I would love to see. But the loss is the most important thing.
What do you think happens if the Jets actually win a game or two and Sam looks good doing it?
Then he's probably coming back because you're probably not picking first overall.
I mean, if you win 2 games, you're probably going to fall back to maybe the 3rd pick, and then you're out for Fields, you're out for Trevor Lawrence.
Yep, and then you're taking the number 1 wideout.
Yeah, you can't take you. I mean, that's what I like. My biggest fear is Gase coming back. That's my number 1 fear. Like I want to find whatever it takes to get him out of here is my goal. Now, if Sam is going to be part of that, if Sam has to just not do like if he
yeah, so you're willing to sacrifice Sam to get Gase out of here.
Because now I'm reading the comments. I'm reading the comments, and I'm like, oh my god. Or or Sam could just demand a trade, but get him out and do that. Yeah. Let's see. If you asked us, besides franchise quarterback, what are our needs 10 years ago? Are they exactly the same now? Well, actually not, man, because now you got your left tackle. So that's we would say.
Well, 10 years ago we had D-Brick.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true. That is true. We have a lot of holes.
Pass rusher hasn't changed. I mean, we had
the weird thing is I'm seeing all these articles. Jets must re-sign Perryman. Based on what? Like you must, like a must consider it if you want to offer like some kind of like reasonable deal. But I don't think he's like a have to next year.
No, not at all. But if you can get him back at $3, $4, maybe $5 million per, and you're also taking a number 1 wideout, in the first round or something, and now you got that guy plus Mims plus Crowder, and Perriman's your 3rd or 4th option, then you're talking. I wouldn't mind that at all.
2 and 4 still gets you Fields, I think. Maybe You don't know, man. You don't really know where 2
I thought everybody jumped off the Fields bandwagon after the 3 interception game.
Rich Samini did.
Yeah,
that's how he rolls. Let's see. Why not play Sam last 2 games? Hope he plays great and maybe get a 1 for him. Bears or Indy. Why? Why wait then? Play him now.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for?
I think if you're genuinely interested in upping his trade value, he's got to show teams that for an extended period of time, he can play well down the stretch here. So 2 games, I don't think really would change anything. 6 games with some good teams in there, maybe changes a few. I don't know.
If Gase is in on the tank and play Sam, does that mean Gase is deliberately setting Sam up for failure? You'll know by the play calling.
Yeah.
You'll know by the play calling, dude. If they completely handcuff him and don't let him throw the ball around, you're like, dude, you brought him back, but you don't want him to flourish. You want to lose. But again, it's like if that was the case, you just play Morgan,
That's true. No, that's a phenomenal question. I mean, we should get a lot of answers about Gase in this game, whether he's coaching for his job or he continues just to, kind of not give a shit. The fact that he opened things up for Flacco tells me that, he's got to be in some way coaching for his job. Although in the back of your mind, you're saying, all right, if you open it up for Flacco, maybe you're just trying to set things up to get Sam Darnold out of here. So like you said, if he ends up going back this week to a lot of the dink and dunk and, featuring Frank Gore and no deep shots, that's probably going to tell you a lot that he just doesn't believe in Sam or he wants to run him out of here to try to set up, for Trevor Lawrence. And those articles also came out back in August as well. Remember, it was Costello and I think Connor Hughes at the same time. It was, Sam Darnold fighting for his job. He's on the hot seat year 3. Like, what the fuck is that? Adam Gase should have been the one featured in all those articles coaching for his job. But no, Sam Darnold, it shouldn't have been that way.
Do you think Sam has the guts to change plays? This is where but this is where I'm saying if things don't go his way on Sunday, where the play calling is super like conservative and vanilla after watching Flacco for the last couple weeks.
I would love to see him just do it on his own.
Or just getting Dow Loggains' face, be like, dude, what is this shit? This is ridiculous.
Well, no, he gets the play call. If he doesn't like it, just change it, audible it. You're a grown man. What would they actually say to him on the sideline if he did that?
Yeah. I don't know. If the Jets can't land Lawrence, then they have to keep Sam and trade down in the draft to build a team for a new quarterback in the next draft. I mean, that's not really the plan, I don't think.
They can't land Lawrence, and they have to keep.
You trade down the build team for a new quarterback in the next draft. So you're going to draft a quarterback next year instead of this year.
No. If you can't land Trevor Lawrence, you're building a team around Sam Darnold. I mean, as long as Sam doesn't shit like you said, the worst case scenario is Sam plays like shit and you somehow win a couple games, because then you're screwed. Then you don't have really any options unless you're considering trading up for your quarterback, which is not what you want to do because we have a ridiculous number of holes. So, yeah, I mean, you either need that number 1 overall pick, which sets you up for the coach and the quarterback, or you want Sam to play well.
If Sam sucks, it's not the receivers. Listen, a lot of his a lot of the challenges he was facing are gone. Like now you have Mims, who has shown that he's an explosive receiver. You have your deep threat in Perriman. Crowder's all reliable. Herndon seemed like he may be coming out of his funk a little bit. I mean, the running backs are whatever, but
we'll talk about that.
It comes down to play calling, and hopefully he does it. Perfect snare. Sam throws for 3 touchdowns in 400 years. Years would be a long time, and we lose 45-38. Be fun to watch, but
old school Miami Jets shootout.
If Lawrence stays in school, do you keep Sam and draft the receiver? I don't think he's staying in school, man. I just don't see it.
I don't either.
I just don't see it.
If he simply didn't want to go to the Jets, he would just try to force his way to another team. But actually staying in school, going back for another year, I don't think he would do that.
This sums it up perfectly. This situation is such a damned if they do, damned if they don't scenario. Like it literally is. Like it's such a weird thing to watch on Sunday. You're like, all right, I think ultimately Sam playing very well and the Jets losing is the perfect scenario. So your tank keeps going, and then you hope that Sam strings together a bunch of games. It's not one good game, then shits it bad against the Raiders, then he does good. Like it's gonna be. I'm gonna drink a ton on Sunday. Oh my god. I'm afraid the Jets will fuck this up and end up with the worst case scenario for Darnold. I'm worried that Darnold plays well and Adam Gase finds a way to stay here. This is why if he was fired 3-4 weeks ago, we wouldn't have this problem.
Exactly. That's my biggest fear too, because again, right now, I don't think that's the intention to fire him. I think as of right now, he's still going to get a chance to show something over these last 6 games. So, like the comment said, damned if you do, damned if you don't. If Sam plays well, that's something that Gase can use as as progress for next year.
Yep. Let's see here. Andy Cole, what are you doing?
I was feeling good coming into this night. Now I'm feeling like shit, man.
Guys, NFL wide, biggest surprise team, biggest appointment. If Sam stays, is he Stafford in 4 years? Good quarterback or bad organization? All right. Biggest surprise team in the NFL, biggest disappointment. Biggest disappointment's got to be the Cowboys.
Ooh.
Well, the Cowboys are
Cowboys
terrible,
more
dude.
injury related, though, I feel like.
Dude, they're fucking so poorly coached. You see that goddamn fake punt last night? What the hell is McCarthy doing? They've been suspect with so many things. Other disappointing team, Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep.
Not good. Who else is some other? I mean, I'm trying to think of other teams that have disappointed. A lot of weird injuries. The Bears are falling apart with the Trubisky. Niners decimated by injuries. Some weird teams. Let's see. If Sam stays, is he Stafford in 4 years?
I wanted to get into the surprise teams.
Yeah, good surprise team.
I was thinking of Browns at 7-3 are they right now? I think or 8-3, and you could even throw Miami in there. Honestly, I don't think anybody saw them as a playoff team this year.
Nope, not as good as they're playing, man.
Redskins leading the division right now,
and they're fun to watch, man. Like I'll be honest with you, I'm actually rooting.
Smith, yeah.
And even Ron Rivera, dude, look what he's going through. He's getting chemotherapy and stuff, man. Like, how do you not like? They're very hard to hate. Other than all the shit they were doing before that, they had to clean all that up. But I mean, dude, that's if Sam stays, is he Stafford in 4 years? Stafford's had a pretty good career, man. Good quarterback, bad organization. I think if anything, you got to hope that the bad organization is not that way anymore. Where Joe Douglas has a plan, a blueprint of how to build around his quarterback. You get the receivers, you get the offensive line. Like you hope that's not the case anymore.
That's a tough. Like, are we talking about Sam being just the middle of the road quarterback, or is he like a
Stafford had some Pro Bowl years?
That's what I'm saying though. Like Stafford was pretty good for a number of years there, and he just didn't really have a whole lot of help. So I feel like that's kind of what Sam's gone through early on, and that's why it's so hard to really make the evaluation on him, or really to even know how much damage has been done. To figure out if he should still be the guy going forward. But that's interesting though. I mean, I think at this point, if you're picking number 1 overall, the idea of passing on Trevor Lawrence, you only do that if you think Sam is still that upper echelon, top 10 guy. If
you pass on Lawrence, you're giving Sam a new contract. I mean, that's how confident you got to be with him.
Yeah, or like I'll keep saying, if the trade offer is just so ridiculous that you can't turn it down, where you could address just so many holes, and then see what Sam can do over a 2-year period, I think that kind of makes sense too. But it would be very hard to pass up on Trevor if you're not convinced Sam is even better, I think, than what Stafford was.
What's up, Shaq? Thank you, man.
Shaq?
Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, man.
Hope you got your shirt.
Yeah, we mailed out a bunch of stuff.
It out a little late, but yeah, got it out there. Finally.
Let's see. Go back up here to some of these questions. Here's a good one. What should we make of the whole Fitzgerald head coach situation with Northwestern?
Glad somebody brought that up. That was the one thing I don't know if the rumor was true or not, but that kind of gives you some optimism that if the Jets are actually doing their homework on some other coaches, that would mean Adam Gase is out the door. So that was probably the best news that I heard almost all year. If it's actually true and they're doing their due diligence, that speaks volumes, I would think.
Yep. No, I completely agree. I mean, that's in you're looking at a guy he's a head coach. He's got, experience. He's rebuilt some things. So
he's more of a defensive guy, I think I was reading, but like you said, he's built programs and, he seems like a good team builder, a good motivator. So, from that perspective, complete opposite of Gase. So
Trevor basically just announced he's coming out. I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe it's something on Twitter or something. I don't know.
I'll check it out.
I don't know. I swear to God, this play calling has been so boring and not creative. Sam going to have to make magic on the run from the pass rush. Well, Romeo, to be honest, Flacco was airing it out a lot, man. I'm not sure if that was just Flacco reading the defenses a certain way, or they actually just let him air it out with Perriman and Mims and all these other guys there. So, I mean,
last week it was more, I felt like in the second half. The first half, they didn't really do too much with the passing game. And then was it Flacco? We threw for 205 yards or something like that in the second half.
First half was horrendous. They didn't throw the ball to receivers.
Nope.
I think you ask us this question every week, Thomas, to be honest with you. Do you think Daniel Jones can be a good quarterback if he fixes his turnover problems? They're winning games, man. He's playing well. I mean, I think he's still very young, and Giant fans don't have any patience with him, and it's wild. Like, he's a great athlete, big time arm. I think he can clean some things up.
I could say the same thing for Jet fans and their patience with Sam Darnold.
I mean, this is year 2, man. Like, this is
it's one extra year.
That's a lot in football times. It's like a dog year, man. Let's see. Darnold will do some scary things with Crowder, Perriman, and Mims. I hope so.
Scary good or scary bad?
I know.
Good.
Why has Zuniga not played that much so far? I don't know, man. I don't understand how they handle rookies sometimes. Like, they don't. Yeah. You know, Cameron Clark's been inactive. James Morgan's inactive. Like, they don't. At least the young rook, the secondary, the corners are all playing what they have to. Ashton Davis is playing a lot, which is great.
Yeah, they don't have a choice in the secondary, but Zuniga, I mean, you invested a 3rd-round pick in him, and I think you only had like 17 snaps last week, so that didn't really make a whole lot of sense. You would think at this point you'd be trying to look at all these guys that you invested picks in, especially, you know, the mid-round guys like him, Ashton Davis. You finally have, you know, like you were saying, Bryce Hall and all the young corners out there because you don't really have a choice to. But, you know, who are we playing over Zuniga? You know, Terrell Basham, is he really the guy that you're trying to evaluate right now? I can understand getting Huff out there, Franklin Myers. Those are young guys that you want to, you know, see what they could do. But Zuniga has to be out there at some point.
How much does a Dolphin pass rush and secondary scare you going into this game? Well, this is going to be a good test for Mims because now Mims is going to have a legitimate corner. You got with Byron Jones, Xavier Howard. I mean, you got 2 really good. Like, they're not going to be running free. They're going to get tested. He's going to get definitely some good tests here to see what he can do. The pass rush obviously is a concern. I mean, the Jets line has been a little bit inconsistent. Now you take Fant out of the mix, who's been playing fairly well. No Alex, or whatever happens to Alex Lewis. I mean, Connor McGovern has been okay, I guess. I'm not a big Van Roten fan, so I don't know.
No, Dolphins defense in general, I mean, they've been solid all year, and they're well coached too. So the secondary is one of the best in football, you know, with their corner tandem. So that's going to be a nice opportunity for Mims to, you know, see what he could do.
Watching this season that had them blow the tank and miss Lawrence now makes me want to puke. Tomorrow is going to generate some very interesting reactions. If Sam comes out and starts slinging it, they win. The Jaguars lose. They're tied. The Jaguars are the #1 pick. Jets fans are going to be a mess, man.
I'm actually like for the first time in probably a little more than a month. I'm genuinely excited for this live stream just to see what the reactions are going to be when Sam starts lighting up the Dolphins.
I'm getting ripped. I'm getting absolutely ripped.
For what?
Why not? How are we building a team around Sam with what contract? They will go rookie QB on a rookie deal, 5 potential rookie quarterbacks with more potential than Sam.
Can I just on the contract really quick? I'll continue to fucking pound this one. Who are we paying right now that we're so concerned about giving Sam a contract if he earns it? You're still 2 years away from making that decision. He's got 1 more year left on his rookie contract, and then he's got his 5th-year option where, yes, you're paying him probably like $25 million, but it's for 1 year. So if he came back, let's just say, if he came back over these next 2 years, you're investing around him, you're putting all these, you know, wide receivers and offensive linemen in place, and if he still sucks, you're not tied to him in any way financially. You cut the cord and you bring in a new quarterback with talent that's already set instead of trying to build it with him.
Yep. The other thing too is that you can very easily build around Sam. I mean, it's easy. They have so much cap space. They have so much money. There's so many things you can do, especially if you're creative with a general manager that's kind of resourceful. That's just I don't think it's a problem. Donation for sticker cubes for Gase and the $5 DVD version of Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
There we go.
Final score, each of you, for the Dolphin game on Sunday. Final score, prime time. What do you think this score is going to be?
I'm going 34-31, New York Jets.
Oh my God, the reactions will be just...
First time all year, I am picking them on the money line. I do think they're going to win this game. Funny, just gut feeling. The offense shows up. Gase is motivated. Going to Miami, his old team, or I know they're home, but playing his old team in Miami. I'm telling you, he's going to be fired up.
Prime time will be unbearable if the Jets win and Darnold plays well. He is going to have fucking videos. I'm like, prime time, why don't you make a video to talk about the benefits of what Sam could show the next 6 games? Fuck that. Everybody's tired of me talking about Darnold. Dude, if they
wait till Sunday.
Yeah,
save it.
If they win and he plays well, look out, man. It's going to be a disaster, absolute disaster. My prediction, shit. I think the offense is going to play well too. To be honest with you, I think this is going to be a motivated Sam with weapons. I think they're going to score some points. but the Dolphins defense and our shitty secondary is going to be the difference in the game. So I'm going to say 31-24 Dolphins. So
that's not kind of set up for that, I guess.
Hey, man. Let's see. We got Snoopy's causing chaos here. We'll go back and see what Snoopy's saying because everybody's ripping him. So let's see what we got to be. Gonna be a mess. Where you been? I mean, I guess I gotta categorize my mess. I think Captain Morgan should be on our active roster. I don't want to see Flacco in uniform again. Totally pointless at this point. I mean, they're not gonna make Flacco inactive. I don't think that, which is
why not?
Ridiculous.
What's more important at 0-10? Having James Morgan in uniform backing up, kind of even just hearing the play calls coming in on the sideline, just kind of having that role and being ready to go in case something does happen, or putting Joe Flacco out there in a meaningless game. What's more important?
And I mean, they've been fucking around Mike White for how many weeks? Like they're not even considering this poor kid. In fact, Primetime's Darnold tales were one of the things that drew me to this channel. See?
There we go. At least we got some support.
Yeah. There you go.
And again, like that's what I keep saying. Like, if we were analysts, if we were doing this show as X's and O's, we can break down all of Sam's rookie mistakes and why he should be better in his third year, and that would be fine. I would totally understand it. But like as fans, I can't understand the idea of ripping a 23-year-old kid while simultaneously acknowledging how awful this head coach is and how little talent around him he has. To me, that part just doesn't make any sense.
All right. Bears fan here. I'm intrigued by Darnold, quarterback with legit arm strength on a bad team, 3 years younger than Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, the Bears are in a tough spot, man, because Foles has played like shit. They have no faith in Trubisky. They passed on it's just they are in a tough spot.
I wonder if Nagy's even coming back next year.
He's been buried too. I mean, it's like you could see. Like I've talked to other fans from outside teams. A lot of them like Darnold for their own team. Like, yeah, I take Darnold because they haven't seen. Like we've seen a lot of this shit firsthand where a lot of people haven't seen all the things that have gone wrong. So it's interesting. Thoughts on each of the NFC East coaches. All right. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl and now Carson Wentz is falling apart, which he's got no weapons around him at all. I mean, they're destroyed by injuries and Alshon Jeffrey's a mess and all this other shit. I think they miss Frank Reich, which is interesting. So Doug Peterson's on the hot seat, man. They're a mess. Some of his game time decisions, his game management decisions are a mess. They're worried about Wentz. Is he good? Is he bad? What's your thoughts on Peterson?
I liked Peterson a couple of years ago. But yeah, the Eagles have been on, local TV a lot this year, and I've been able to watch, at least 3 or 4 of their games, and their offense now, and especially the way Wentz is playing. I mean, he's looking worse than Sam at some moments, just holding on to the football, terrible decisions. I mean, it's hard to explain how far backwards he's gone. So yeah, I think Peterson to some extent should be on the hot seat, but when you have a Super Bowl on your resume, I think you get a little bit more leeway. But yeah, I mean, it's just hard to explain what's gone on with Philly.
Ron Rivera, I love him. Absolutely love him. I was hoping the Jets would have hired him at one point, but they made a quick move there in Washington, and good for him. Very all about defense, ground the pound. The players love him. He's aggressive. Riverboat Ron, whatever the hell they call him. I think he's a very, very good coach, man. I'm happy they're having success. I mean, it's cool to see. He's respected. The team's going to play hard for him. So,
yeah, reminds me of Rex in a lot of ways. I mean, defensive minded, a passionate guy that's respected by everybody.
Yeah. Joe Judge, I think, is a young coach on the rise who is. I like the way he handles things. He's a very no nonsense guy. The whole thing with the offensive line coach is interesting, and I think his way is going to work. They've been competitive every game, but it's his first year. They got to keep winning, man. His attitude could rub you the wrong way if things start going south. They start, he's good. They had to probably clean up a lot of bullshit. He tightened things up. He seemed to get a good program. Jason Garrett helps him out a ton on the offensive side, having a veteran coach, the offensive coordinator. But the things he's doing now are okay in year one, and you're coming back and you're winning some games. But if this thing turns south, man, they will run him out of town so friggin' fast.
I think he was what they needed, though. Going from what they had with McAdoo and all that bullshit. I mean, I think he was kind of what they needed, just a disciplinarian, no nonsense kind of guy. And we saw it in training camp. I agree with you that if you bring in the wrong guys, it could fall apart very quickly. But if they keep building it the right way, focusing on the draft, not high price free agents, building that way, and you have your culture in place, I think it could work for them.
Mike McCarthy's been an absolute disaster. I mean, the Dak injury was huge. The defense is awful. The offense is horrible. Like the fucking punt yesterday.
I mean, can we just quickly bring up that 2 of our 3 finalists during the last head coaching search are probably the 2 worst coaches in football right now, with Gase and McCarthy.
Isn't it?
Yep.
I'm shocked about how bad McCarthy is. I am absolutely shocked. Absolutely. I mean, just mind blowing how bad he is.
The fucking 4th down calls yesterday were just insane.
Oh, what is this shit now? Bob's talking shit now. Vegas is giving only even money that Tyson makes it past the first quarter before spilling his drink.
8 weeks in a row.
It's crazy. It is crazy that I keep doing that.
I wonder what has better odds, you spilling or me spilling on a shotgun.
That's true. It's very true. Hey, Tyson, you disappointed we're not going to see Blades and Derek Lewis tomorrow night. Absolutely bummed out about that.
And
that
the other
sucked.
fight, Moicano or whatever, he got pulled too. They got moved to, it was like 2 weeks from now, I think.
Who's this?
The second fight that was supposed to happen. Moicano and whoever he was fighting, I forget who.
Yeah,
that one
sucks,
got moved.
Man. Definitely sucks. But they've had cards pretty much every week though, so it's it's sooner or later you're gonna have some of this, so it's whatever you can do. Let's see. Our offensive line next year needs to be Becton, Fant, Thuney, Clark, and McGovern. How you gonna get Thuney?
That's interesting.
Taking him from the Patriots?
Fant is interesting because I think he's been okay this year, but the money's just, I mean, $9 million I think he's supposed to make next year. I don't think he's worth that.
Thoughts on Leon Edwards versus Kazmat? Yeah, this fight is badass. People are sleeping on Leon Edwards, man. He hasn't fought in a while, but he is badass, dude. That's an excellent fight. A good test for both of them. They want the big money fight. Win this fight. Phenomenal matchup. I can't wait for it. I mean, you got Mike Tyson and Roy Jones tomorrow night.
That's
8 2-minute rounds of just bullshit.
No knockouts. If there's a cut, the fight ends. I mean, these rules are just...
Dude, it's almost the way they're doing it. It's almost like technical sparring. It's like you can't do this.
But do you think they're actually going to follow it though, or once they get in there, it's just going to be all hell?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you do that because there's going to be a lot of hype, a lot of hoopla. Everybody's going to be watching.
I can't see Tyson just going in there and having a sparring session.
No, and the thing is, like, it's all fun. It's all fun and games. So somebody gets a good shot off, and your instinct is to kill. Like if somebody cracks you in the ribs or cracks you in the face, you're going to throw as hard as you can, as fast as you can, and knock the shit out of them. That's boxing. That's the way it works. Like it's just, I don't know how you tame that down. There's no judges. There's celebrity judges. Well, first of all, the fans will judge because you're going to know when to fight. But I mean, we're obviously going to watch it out of curiosity. All of the media that's covering it is completely insulted by it, calling it a farce. That just the setup is so ridiculous. They passed their drug test. They passed the steroid test. They passed everything else.
That tomorrow night.
We could do that. What time is it? It's probably it's like midnight, right?
Oh,
what time's the fight at?
I thought it was earlier than that. Check right now.
My bad. I didn't realize I asked. No problem, Thomas. I'm just busting your chops. Yeah, I mean, we could go live for it. I don't care. It's like $50, isn't there? Some shit, $60. Some crazy shit. The title fight before, it's actually very good.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be late as hell, I think.
It's gonna be like midnight, dude. They drag that out because they want to get all the marketing dollars they can.
It's starting at 9 with the undercard, so can only imagine when that fight.
Yeah, so it's probably like 11:30. They always wait for that shit. If Sam stinks things up, does he get the hook at halftime? No,
unless he's hurt. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you play it out, man. That's your quarterback. Now when people saying if Sam plays well, it's so funny. Let's see. If you're not tanking for Lawrence, you keep Sam.
I think so too. Yeah.
I can't believe I wanted Baker in a Jet uniform. Was calling him Broadway Baker before the draft. Dude, his ass. You're not alone, man. I like Baker. I like Mayfield myself.
It was Broadway Baker. It was Chosen Rosen. I mean, we were hyping up all of them.
And we all thought that Darnold would be gone at 1. We thought he wasn't going to be available. Yep. Now here we are trying to run him out of town. Some of us. Primetime rooting for the win?
Not exactly rooting for the win, but if it happens as a result of Sam playing well.
Are you pulling a Steve right now?
If it happens as the result of Sam playing well, I wouldn't be devastated. I wouldn't be happy, but I wouldn't be devastated.
24-10, 35-17. And it's funny, I got some backlash from my back and forth with Steve on Tuesday night.
What?
Apparently I was too mean on him.
I don't think so.
I mean, sometimes it's warranted. He waffles, man.
And they don't see what he does to you on Twitter. He comes at you all the time on Twitter.
He says some crazy shit on Twitter, attacks the hell out of me, and every once in a while I come back and then I save it for the show.
Yep.
he gets, yeah, he's a, in terms of tanking, the Raiders game scares me. Temperature game time will be 41 with 20-mile-an-hour winds. Don't trust Carr in the weather. The Jets beat them last time.
Forgot about
trap game, 1 o'clock game.
That's actually a very winnable game too.
Yeah, here it is. You guys need to bring Call or Steve on a live stream. He's a piece of work, man.
You should do one of these one nights with the callers.
We gotta figure out how to do it, dude.
You just gotta send the link. Kind of get an idea of who wants to call in ahead of time, and just send them the link.
Could do a couple live streams. You can cover the UFC and boxing at the same time.
Could do that.
We try to figure something out. They're on I think they're on what are they? We'll look at it. We'll look at it. We'll try to figure it out.
Stream UFC's fight night tomorrow, so that might be on ESPN.
Yeah, ESPN Plus. Thank you for the interview with Christopher Johnson. Our pleasure, man. And we got, got Coach Gase on a couple times too. It's been let's see. If Primetime truly believes Forgetting Sarah Marshall is the best comedy of all time, I truly believe that is the only comedy he's ever seen.
I mean, Superbad's close. A few others, knocked up, but no, Sarah Marshall is my all-time.
Oh my God.
I'm surprised we didn't bring up Training Day and as far as the serious movies. The Departed, I forgot to mention.
Tyson in Primetime, you forgot one important thing. Sam always throws a bunch of picks whenever he plays the Dolphins. Is that true?
I'll have to look at the numbers. I thought we beat them once last year, right? Yeah, we split with them last year, so I don't know how bad he played in that game.
Dominic the Donkey is better than Gase. So Mike McCarthy is terrible, but people still want Harbaugh, basically the same person. Over the hill bums who were last relevant a decade ago.
Ooh,
that's a hot take right there.
That is.
Yeah, McCarthy's been awful.
I think it's just hard to judge Harbaugh based on what he's done in college, which is so much about recruitment, and I think less about him as a coach.
But it's just, let's see. What would you think if they brought North Turner in as offensive coordinator? For who? Who's the head coach? North Turner's good with quarterbacks, but who would be the head coach, though? So,
that's a good question. Yeah, it's hard to even talk about anybody right now as coordinator without knowing, what kind of head coach you're bringing in, whether it's a defensive mind or sticking with the offensive minded coach.
Yep. Thuney is a free agent. He got tagged last year, but Patriots do have a lot of cap space. Yeah, I think that's
Patriots have a ton of cap space. They're right there with us.
Tyson said he's coming out. Oh, I guess Trevor Lawrence said he's coming out Rookie of the Year. That's what he's looking to do.
No, Tyson said he's coming at Roy.
Oh, at Roy. Oh, I thought I was talking about. Does somebody try comments? I don't know. Like I said, that boxing match, man, is last one or my wife will kill me. Tyson, please buy an alarm clock for Prime so he doesn't miss next Gase interview. Favorite video game of all time?
Easily Madden.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember? I'm old. Do you remember Tecmo Bowl way back when? That was fun.
Yeah. I had the regular Nintendo, and
when you had Bo Jackson, nobody could tackle him. He would just Bo Jackson would just be gone.
Randall Cunningham, I think it was Madden 93, maybe. He was kind of the same version of that. Mike Vick in some of the earlier 2000, I think, Madden games. He was the same way.
Yeah,
Madden. Call of Duty, I'd put up non-sport games. I was into that a little bit in high school, but yeah, Madden's something you don't grow out of.
Let's see. Primetime shotguns better than Sam.
Not better than Sergio Castillo, though. Glad we get to have him back this week.
Thank God, man. Thickens out, so that's a positive.
Yep.
We're talking about movies again. Forgetting Sarah Marshall is a tremendous movie.
You,
I got your back.
Thank you, Rob.
And by the way, weren't you supposed to do the comments tonight? Why the fuck am I doing them again?
Was that tonight?
Yeah, convenient. Very convenient.
He didn't say anything. I forgot, man.
Animal House. Phenomenal movie. Hey, Primetime. You screwed me again, man. Oh, this was great. I remember when Steve was naming the players on the offense, didn't know their positions. I've got him a couple times.
I remember there was one show 3-4 years ago. You were like, "So, what are your thoughts on so and so?" And he started, "Oh yeah, he was a great running back. Or, they should give him the ball." And you're like, "No, he's on defense." I forget.
Manish Meta story. You guys just gonna ignore it. We actually
talked about it at the beginning. We started with it.
We spent 10 minutes on it, Balls. So maybe just take the time to, instead of attack us, just watch the beginning of the show. We'll go with that.
You can go back into it if you'd like, if you missed it.
Yeah, we can. I mean, Yeah, this was my favorite one too, especially with Steve, man. Oh my God, that's some funny shit.
If you guys have any other audio requests, whether it's wrestling or whatever, just let me know. I can upload whatever.
Do you guys think Glennon gives the Jags a shot to win? He's better than the other guy, man. At least, dude, remember there was a time of Jet fans wanted Glennon. Remember years ago, Glennon could be our quarterback?
Yep. But, after he had that 1 year in Tampa where he kind of lit it up a little bit, yeah.
Crazy to think that a few months ago we went from maybe we will stream another game. Jets stream to every game now. Great job pounding out the awesome streams. Thank you, man. This is all new to us. We just still can't figure half this shit out, but a
lot more fun than what we were doing with just the call-in show. This is a lot more enjoyable, especially in a year like this where we don't really want to take the game seriously. It's a lot more fun cracking jokes and drinking, doing it this way.
Caller Steve is the guy that calls in every Tuesday night on our Blog Talk show. And sometimes he falls asleep. Sometimes his dog is barking in the background. And the cool thing about him is you can get him to change his stance within a matter of a minute. Yep. He'll be like, I want the Jets to win one game. And within a matter of 30 seconds, he'll be like, I want the Jets to lose every game. And then we call him out on it. He waffles.
He's been fairly consistent, though, about wanting to win this year. He still sees the value in, winning one game, winning two games.
Got to win one game. It's very important to him. Got to win one game. I was amazed Steve made it off the canvas after he knocked him down 12 times in a row. I guess I was harsh.
He's resilient. He's resilient. He takes the shots.
Hard on Tuesday.
Yeah.
More interviews needed. Hey, I think Coach Gase will be. He's either going to be very feisty if his quarterback with his receivers plays well.
I'm trying to think about what Coach Gase would be like after a win on this show.
Unbearable. I'll go. We have never experienced that before. All our interviews actually a positive moment for the team.
That's what I'm saying.
That's funny. I didn't
probably be cocky as hell.
Oh, he'll be unbearable. Like I'll have to just let him go with it and endure it. Be painful. Would you guys be pissed if Woody brings back Rex Ryan? Never happened. That ship has sailed.
I was gonna say, it seems like we get a Rex comment almost every show, and like I personally, I love Rex, great dude, but we've got to be looking for something a little bit better than that. He wore out his welcome here again. Passionate dude. He took some talent here and made the most of it. But as far as building something, you're not looking for him to do that.
Adam Gase, good week of practice has got to be on the soundboard. That is true, dude. That's got to be a soundbite. Yep, that's right. A very good point. Let's see.
I heard he said it again today too.
He did.
Right?
Yep, he did. Any Arnold quote from Kindergarten Cop? Oh, shit. Jesus Christ. Actually, guys, has Sam ever actually yelled at the coach on the sidelines? He did it last year. He got in an animated discussion. It was a heated conversation.
He yelled. He just kind of gave him the hand, like whatever.
Thank you, David. We appreciate that. We'll be doing more. We got a lot of requests for us to do more just individual like rants and shit like that, which we got away from a little bit. So we'll definitely do more of those. Those are more fun.
Especially after the season ends too.
Yeah, let's get prime time bullshit. Yeah. Sam nonsense. But let's see. Where can I find a clip of Steve? Oh, dude, there's plenty of them, man. That just shows you that Jake doesn't listen to our show. That just proves he doesn't listen, right?
Yeah, he calls in almost every week. So
no amateur college coaches. So you wouldn't want Matt Rule? You wouldn't want Cliff Kingsbury? That's got no comment.
We had them both in the building, and we decided to go with the old retread. So again, I don't know. I don't know what direction you go in, because you can make the argument that the retread direction, like a Harbaugh, even though I think he's well beyond a retread, but going in that direction, those were like the two worst options that we had on the table with Case and McCarthy. And the college coaches right now are the ones that are kind of looking good and innovative with their offenses, and their young quarterbacks are thriving. So I don't know.
Tyson, I listened to Pop Your Monster. Pretty crazy song. Yeah. Fall in Reverse, man. Pop Your Monster. It is the wildest song you're ever going to hear. It's just, if you like heavy or like Linkin Park stuff with some little bit of rap element to it, and then the chaos, they have 4 or 5 songs that are just crazy as shit.
Throw them in my next jog.
You didn't listen to it yet? Dude, you'll run faster. I guarantee you that. Yeah. You'll be like, you'll just start. Yeah. It's all right. It's wild, man. And there's so many swings to the song. You just don't expect it. You're like, especially as the first time not knowing what they're about, you're going to be like, what the fuck? I'm telling you. They have like 4 or 5 songs. I'll send you all of them. I thought you guys were doing a Joe Douglas interview. The request is in. We're getting there.
Working on it.
We had a holiday we had to deal with. He was sleeping. He had to take a nap. Let's see. What's your first memory as a Jets fan? Oh shit.
Believe it or not, actually, my first memory I think is the fake spike because I was 6 years old. I was at that game. It was one of the probably first dozen or so games that I was at. And I'm pretty sure I remember like looking at my dad. I'm like, is he allowed to do that or something like that? I'm like, he cheated or some shit like that. Yeah, that's probably like the first memory that I really have.
I think my first memory is like the Mark Gastineau sack dance. You remember that's like one of my vivid memories. And that in the Jets chant. Let's see. Oh, Snoopy's just how many All Pros we need next year to make Sam look average. Snoopy's just angry, man. What happened to Snoopy? It's the holidays and stuff. Thoughts on Corey Anderson fighting Nemkov?
Are you allowed to comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, Corey Anderson deserves all the success he's getting right now in Bellator. He earned that new contract. He had a dominating performance. He can go toe to toe with anybody in the Bellator. I'll say that. I think he won the title. I think he would beat Ryan Bader. He's good, man. His wrestling is phenomenal. His striking gets better every fight. He's fought the best of the best throughout his entire career, never backed down from anybody. Took fights on short notice and beat the guys on short notice. I think it's great, man. Like I said, I'm friends with him, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him. But he is, as a fighter, he is as good as it gets, and especially in Bellator, he'll go toe to toe, and he'll do great. Your thoughts, Prime Time? If you want.
Hey, if I had anything to share, I would, but that's your area.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. He's relentless. His work ethic, if you follow him on any kind of social media, he is relentless with his work ethic, man. He's just always at it trying to improve. And if to be honest with you, like, and I think this, I should maybe look before I say this. I'm pretty sure Daniel Cormier is actually commenting about this because Corey went out and trained with Daniel Cormier for the last fight when Cormier fought for the match against Stipe.
Yeah,
Corey was out there for a couple of weeks training with him. Daniel Cormier was raving about how good he was. He's like, I can't believe like how strong you are, and so it is what it is.
Impressive.
Yeah, I'm biased. Let's see. We are in such a bad situation as a franchise that I think a college coach with hands-on building a roster would be a great choice. Your thoughts, Prime Time?
Again, my personal preference is still the proven guy if he shakes free, whether it's a Sean Payton or even Harbaugh, I'm still pretty high on. And then it's tough to decide whether you think a Bieniemy who's been in the NFL and worked with a good offense under, a proven coach like Andy Reid, if he would be the better choice, or, a Matt Campbell or, somebody from the college ranks who would just bring in, something different that the NFL might not see. I don't know. I'm not qualified to make that decision.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of these guys. Like I like guys like the thing with Matt Rule was he rebuilt two college programs. Like that shows that you have blueprint for your program. You know what you're doing, and guys react to you, and you can find a way to you have something that's working for you. So I understand that, man. Matt Campbell's highly touted. There's always the same five guys I mentioned every time, and a lot of times these guys don't want to come out. They turn down the rumors like David Shaw. They turn down the rumors early on, like nope, I'm not leaving. Lincoln Riley probably not going to leave. Dabo Swinney probably not going to leave. They haven't made there. They're making shitloads of money, and they're king of the castle, man. Like, They don't have to deal with all this NFL shit. You win 8, 9, 10 games every year. You're in the prominent bowl game. It's tough to walk away from that. So let's see. Snoopy's just causing chaos today, man. What is he doing over there? I don't have time to read all this. It's just, oh my God.
Just trashing Sam all night.
I don't know what he's doing. I think he is, though, man. I don't think it's got to watch the film, Sad Bite. Definitely got to do that.
Had that one. Put it on the list.
Good week of practice. Got to watch the film. Only us, though, we have our GM on Monday Night Football. We have our GM sleeping. Never seen anything like that. Yeah, I mean, this has been some year, man. There's just
I
so much
really hope
shit.
he was on his phone or something, but
I have Tyson winning by knockout in the first round. It wouldn't surprise me, man. Even though I'm not supposed to do that. I mean, he might
just cut him in the first round and that'd be it. First guy that bleeds, it's over. So
I'm telling you, it's so hard. I mean, they're professional athletes. They're great all-time fighters. They're legends, Hall of Famers, everything else. It's so hard to pull back and be like, all right, like when you're like you just if you have somebody rocked, you stop, you pull back, like, all right, catch your faculties. No, you finish them. Like this is what you do, man. I don't know, man. That's gonna be interesting to watch. I hope it's not like the Chuck Liddell Tito Ortiz fight was a complete farce. That was just horseshit. It was horrible. It should never have happened. I think these guys are in both much better shape, so it shouldn't be that bad. But I just think Mike Tyson is so much more physically. He's in phenomenal shape, aggressive, angry, wants to just, like I could see him winning this fight in, dominant fashion and be like, you know what? I actually want to fight a sanctioned fight and find somebody to sanction it. It wouldn't surprise me at all, dude.
The only thing I worry about with Tyson is like maybe his cardio. If it goes into like that 6 rounds at this
2-minute
age,
rounds, dude.
At this age,
dude.
He's what, 57 now?
He's not 57. He's like, what the hell is he?
He's in his 50s at least. I mean,
Mike Tyson,
51 maybe. Then
I thought
he's either 51.
Like
Hold on. I thought he was in his 50s.
No, Mike Tyson age. I thought he was like 48 or some shit.
54.
Is he 54?
Yep.
He is. Oh shit.
So yeah, I mean, I think there's a big difference between sparring and doing whatever else he does, and then actually going in there. I don't know what Roy Jones' game plan is going to be either. If he's just going to try to dance around, I think he's probably in better shape than Tyson is. Yeah, but I still think Tyson rocks him early on.
Tyson in prime time, as bad as this year has been, 2020 will be synonymous with shit. You guys should be proud of creating a fun place for fans to be together and have some fun in the shit season. Well, thank you.
Definitely.
This makes it fun, man. This made us like if we didn't have this stuff, dude. This has kept me like interested.
I would just be angry every week.
Every video would be horrible. I would just be yelling at people and fighting with people, and just it's cool. We can keep changing things around a little bit.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, I was a big Roy Jones fan, man. Like I used to buy all his pay-per-view fights. I used to love Roy Jones.
Probably listen to his music when you're working out.
You guys are the best. Thank you, man. Let's see. Darnold is a stud who will play us out of draft position. This is what Snoopy's doing, man. He is just creating chaos over there.
Trolling
let's see. I want the Jets to win 6 games. Oh my god.
I mean, if they won 6 games and Sam just played out of his mind for all 6 games, would you be upset with that?
If he did play out of his mind for those 6 games?
Yeah. Like every single one, over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like, would you be mad at that?
I mean, how many games would he win? All of them?
Let's say they win like 4 or 5 games.
I don't know, man. Then you have your quarterback. You got to double down and keep him, which will make you happy.
Like you said earlier, the only thing that you legitimately worry about is Adam Gase if he comes back because of that.
That's the biggest problem. You win 5.
And as much as I love Sam, that would be tough.
Dude, if you start out 0-10,
him coming back with Adam Gase, I don't know if I could root for that.
Dude, 0-10 to 5-11, they'd be like,
it'd be almost the same shit as last year. They
Gase
sold
have
us
a
on
statue
that.
in front of his house. I wouldn't even. I just fear that. I really do. Let's see. Toughest Jet of all time. One you probably don't want to mess with. I mean, the Jets have had some. They've had some tough dudes, man. Especially with like Bart Scott and all those guys. Scott. I mean, they had some nasty offensive linemen too. When you had like what is it, the Fanekas and all. I mean, they had a lot of really tough dudes.
His prime when he came here.
I mean, they had like those nasty offensive line. Yeah, they're like just grinders. Klecko, Gassner. Gassner was a boxer. Tried to at least.
You probably put Klecko in there actually. If you're going
Brian Cox
all time. Yep.
And if we're talking about toughest, how about Curtis Martin playing with what two sprained ankles and all kinds of shit, never missing games? Curtis Martin's got to be on that list too. There's a lot of them. Mo Lewis. I mean, there's like David Harris didn't miss a game for how many years? DeBrickashaw Ferguson didn't miss a game for how many years?
Yep.
Yeah, DeBrickashaw. I mean, there's a lot of guys that were on there too. Good question though. Really good question. Indie Colts asking. We appreciate it, man. First Jets jersey you owned. Mine was an Aaron Glenn jersey.
Pretty sure mine was Keyshawn, and then I got Corbett right after that when he was traded.
I actually got it from Cosby's in Madison Square Garden. They had that place this is like back when you didn't get jerseys made. This is like 95, 96. I actually ordered from Cosby's and they had to have it made because they didn't sell Aaron Glenn jerseys at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How shitty my life was. I actually had a Ronnie Lott jersey too.
Tyson, how long was he a Jet? Like 2 years?
Who? Ronnie Lott?
He wasn't a Jet very long.
It wasn't long. Yeah. Tyson, I understand why you listen to Hard Rock to let out aggression listening to caller Steve. Yeah, he's a really good fan though, man. He's a really good guy. So I'm not gonna bash him too much.
Just make sure he brings something if you ever invite him to your tailgate.
Yeah, bring it. Yeah, you should. Yeah, bring him to. Bring the tailgate. Just have extra stuff. Yeah, we got to do this. We've been talking about this. Live stream watching the Gase introductory press conference. We're definitely going to do that. I got to write that down because that's a really good idea. I'm writing this down because we talked about this already. And I'll spill my drink on this note. I'll forget about it anyway. So
I was actually watching all the Chris Johnson stuff the other night. I'm probably going to post something soon on that. All the clips that he has said about not just Adam Gase, but like going back to even Bowles, McCagnon. It's wild, like some of the shit that he has said over the years.
Falling in Reverse was definitely a good choice for workout this morning. Yeah, they got some pretty crazy songs. Thank you, Richard. We appreciate it. Jim Harbaugh would be a huge mistake. I don't know. I mean, I
definitely don't feel as good about him as I did early in the year, but it's still the matter of how much can you judge a collegiate coach when a lot of that's recruitment versus, what he did at the NFL level, which is, proven success over, a 3 to 4 year period, completely revamped the Niners where they were. It's a tough call.
Depends on who his coordinators are too. He wants to bring with them, how he wants to do that.
Wonder if they'll try to dictate who he brings in too, like they did with Rule.
Don't get me started, man. I'm trying to stay somewhat. What amount of pressure you think Sam's under this Sunday? He's going to have to play twice as good just to overcome Gase's incompetence. Sam's got a lot of pressure, man. Pressure from himself to prove that he's not, everybody thinks he is. The media is going to be on top of him. Play snap by snap, going to be highs and lows. We're going to be on top of him through the live stream. Like, what the fuck was that? What is this? Like.
Yeah, he's obviously going to be under a lot of pressure, but whether it's overcoming Gase, whether it's overcoming, if a receiver drops something, it doesn't matter what it is. Like the excuses with him have to be over, and I've been his biggest excuse maker, / supporter. And even I'll say, he's got to over these last 6 games, he's really got to put all those things behind him and show that he belongs and that he deserves to stay and that he's a legit franchise quarterback.
Doesn't Chukagian? She spars at her school. So yeah, Caitlin is under Mark Henry, and she doesn't train full time at her school. She spars on Thursdays and Saturdays, but she looked awesome, man. She's definitely a top 2, top 3 fighter in her division. So good for her. Awesome, definitely dominant performance.
She gonna get that Lauren Murphy fight?
There's some bad blood there, I think. There's some.
Did
you see the back
on Twitter,
and forth on there?
Yeah.
She had the best response ever when like Lauren Murphy's talking shit. And she quote tweeted and put like, cause they fought and she won.
Yeah.
She put there was a savage fucking tweet.
Yep.
Awesome. Women's MMA is just, they're the great division. The Shevchenko sisters both won. There's a lot of great women fighters, man. Let's see. Pat Fitzgerald from Northwestern is the right choice for Jets head coaching job. Why would we do? You know that for sure? We don't even know who the candidates are yet.
Again, I can't even say I know a whole lot about him, but from
a
few tweets I saw, it seems like he gets a couple good reviews. But again, anybody at the collegiate level, it's a toss up. I have no idea.
Tyson, if you have a heart, you call Roy Jones and talk him out of this. Hope he's insured. It's a fight, man. Anything can happen on any fight. There is never, you never know what could happen. All it takes is one punch. You never can say never. So we'll see. Maybe we should live stream it. We'll see what happens.
I'll be up. I'll be watching it. So let me know.
Let's see. I'm worried about Roy Jones. The only thing is you're right. If he does try to find a way to get to the 4th, 5th, 6th round, then Mike Tyson blows all his anger and his aggression now and he gets gassed out. I just don't see it. I just honestly don't see it.
He's 54, man.
Dude, he's a beast. Absolute beast. Do people really want to see the 80-year-old Tyson fight? Yes. Yes. I was in our school tonight, and almost everybody in there was talking about the fight. Everybody's talking about it because you watch his pad sessions and you watch like the velocity and just the fury he throws with. Who doesn't want to watch that? Like we're all
I think a lot of people are going to be very disappointed, especially if you end up paying the $50 or whatever it costs.
Yep.
I think people are going to be very disappointed. I'm excited to see the Nate Robinson fight too. He's on the undercard.
Yeah, some of these guys are like, there's some guys that are just trying to fight, and it's like, come on, man. Like they discount it, and it's just I don't know. Is Sam's running game underrated? Some say he resembles a kid chasing the short bus. I mean, Sam had a great touchdown run, man.
I was gonna say, yeah, against, was that the Bronco game? Yep. I mean, 48-yard touchdown run. I mean, I don't think he's in position enough to scramble. I mean, I don't think Gase rolls him out a lot. But that was, if you go back to his USC film, that was one of the things that he did so well was, maneuvering around the pocket, buying an extra few seconds, throwing on the run, moving on the run. I felt like that was the best part of his game. So I just don't think they've taken advantage of that enough.
Score predictions, I think I did 31-24, and you did
34-31 Jets.
There you go. So you guys want to share them? Let us know, man. The bare knuckle is weird, man. The bare knuckle stuff is so weird. It's just it's not truly bare knuckle. They had their hands are wrapped and stuff, and it's some of it. It just looks like it's fixed. Let's just call it what it is.
Oh,
really? They're trying to build up the brand. They're trying to make it so hardcore and get all these new fans in and try to attract a lot of things. Some of the fights just look fucking fixed. I don't know. It's just what I think, and I don't know anybody in it personally. I've just seen some, and you're like, dude, this is horseshit. They're getting some big paychecks, and it just doesn't. And sadly, they're getting in guys now that are past their prime, which is kind of concerning in terms of head trauma, where, like, who the hell's the guy? Vanderlei Silva, a guy like him. Like, some of these guys don't belong in bare knuckle, man. Like, they're legendary fighters, but you just don't want to see them there and get more blows to their head after they fought in pride and all this shit for years and years and years. It's like, It's just not worth it, man. You guys follow the Manish Mehta drama? Yeah, we started off the show with it. Crazy stuff. It's crazy that he's still tweeting Jet stuff today. Like the New York Daily News, I'm like, how are you allowing him? Like, there should be some kind of organizational response saying, listen, we let our writer use somebody else's shit and promote it as his own. Like that, like I don't understand what the New York Daily News is doing, man.
Wow. And again, Manish just ignoring it, and then the other element with where you got the family involved, just a lot of weird layers to that thing.
Kevin, do you use a key or a knife to create the shotgun hole? I'm doing my first shotgun of my life if Darnold leads us to victory.
There we go. I use a key personally, but I don't know. Knife might be better if you've seen some of the holes that I use.
Yeah. I mean, I've always used keys. I never use a knife. I wouldn't trust myself with a knife. So, and just so we can learn from last week, when you make the hole, you do it on the same side as the things. When you open it up, it's on the same side, so you don't spill like Primetime did.
Again, I watched the film during the week. I realized what I did wrong, so I'm going to correct it Sunday if Perriman happens to get into the end zone.
Yeah, and who do I have? I have
Mims, right?
I have Mims. Mims' first touchdown. I got to do a shotgun. Let's see. I wouldn't watch friggin' Darnold and Mims go off on Sunday.
Hope so.
Could you imagine? I'd be plastered.
3 touchdowns.
Let's see. Manish Mehta is a clown. Can't argue with that. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this too. Imagine following JD's child to a baseball game. That's just like, dude, that's like ass beat kind of stuff. Like that's kind of next time I see you, I'm knocking the shit out of you kind of stuff.
Not even just, again, following him to the game and, being able to find out what kind of ice cream, like the fact that he texted Joe Douglas about it. What did he think was going to happen? Like, you have the screenshot right there. Like you implicated yourself, like as a stalker or just some kind of fucking weirdo. But
like if they were friendly, like say you had a son, right? And I saw your son at the game. I can send him and say, "Hey man, your son's woofing down ice cream," like joking around, like that kind of shit. It's one thing.
That's not what happened, or at least that's not the way it seems like it happened.
Yeah, no, that's just creepy shit, man. What's Manish going to do? I mean, as of 20 minutes ago or like an hour ago, he's tweeting out Jet stuff.
And what's even funnier, and this is probably why maybe the Daily News is silent on it, like he's getting more replies on his tweets now because people are, just asking him to comment on the story. So he's getting exactly what he wants, which is all the attention. So
crazy.
From the Daily News perspective, I'm sure they love it.
Would you guys keep CJ Mosley or trade him for draft picks?
They might not have a choice because I don't know what you're getting back with a 17.5 or $18 million cap hit.
Dude, and he hasn't played in 2 years. What version of CJ Mosley are you even getting? I mean, I think if the Jets could find a way to get rid of that contract, they would do it because that's part of he's not part of the youth movement now.
Yeah,
but I mean, you got to probably eat money. Like you have to you have to probably maybe try to eat some of the cash in order to trade him. Say, listen, we'll eat $8 million or something like that, or I don't know how you even do that.
Yeah, and the other thing that sucks is that next year would have been his third year, and I'm pretty sure that would have been like the last year of guaranteed money. Now it's his second year of the contract because he opted out this year. So then you still have to wait, I think, another year before almost all the guaranteed money's off the books, or at least most of it. So as far as finding somebody to take on that contract, it's gonna be tough. Yeah,
Tyler. So we have to have. You ever the Muppets? What the hell is the? I gotta look at the names of those two guys. You ever watch the Muppets? The two guys up in the booth that make all those the laughing and stuff that. You ever watch? He said we need that soundbite. Tyler said it. I don't know what their names are.
I can find it.
Let's see here. I'm from DC. How do New Yorkers pick between Jets and Giants? I think it's probably when you grew up. And there's a period where the Giants were very good, and that when winning Super Bowls and Parcells and everything else, and the Jets were terrible. I mean, how else? I mean, really, I think it's just.
I think most people just take after what their family supports. I mean, I know your situation was different, but yeah, I mean, for me, my dad was a season ticket holder going back to the early '80s. So the second I went to a couple games as a 4 or 5 year old, I was hooked. I was addicted. That was it.
Also, where you live too, like Long Island was all Jets fans because the Jets were playing out in Shea.
Yep.
So like Giant fans in New Jersey, a lot of them were because the Giants played in Giant Stadium. So it's like a lot of it was really based on where you live. Giants were more of a legendary franchise. A lot, like you said, tickets were passed down throughout the family.
Mm-hmm.
So, this comment always cracks me up. Caller Steve, you really want my honest answer, dude? And how many times I say I want you to lie to me? Show was a mess on Tuesday. I inherited the Jets from my dad. It was pretty rare growing up where I did in New Jersey. Around here's all me too. Jersey Shore is all Giants fans. If you go to the hell's the name of the place? Like Bar A, like some of the big football bars around here on Sunday, it's like Steeler fans, Raiders fans, Giant fans. Like there's a few Jets fans. Yeah, it's Jersey Shore is all Giants fans or Eagles fans.
Yeah, I usually go down to Wildwood every single year, and it's all Giant stuff and Philly stuff that they sell all down the boardwalk. You never find or see anything Jets related.
Dude, you can go to a Dick's Sporting Goods down the street from me, and it's going there. It's like 95% Giant stuff, Cowboy stuff, Eagle stuff, and a little rack of like Jet stuff. I'm like, dude. And the Giants could be like 1-5. The Jets could be 5-1. Won't make a fucking difference.
Well, maybe that's because fans are finally starting to listen and they're not buying any merchandise and they're trying to send a message. So maybe they're just pulling it off the shelves.
What's your favorite Jets Monday night game of all time? That's easy, man.
That's easy. Yeah.
Monday Night Miracle. I was there for that. Yeah.
In fact, I actually stayed too, which is crazy.
Yep.
Today, there'd be no chance. A game like today, thinking about the wait in the parking lot, you're getting out of there as soon as possible. But as a seventh grader, I think I was at the time, I'm just trying to stay out a little bit later, in spite of it being a school night. And yeah, as soon I think it was 30-7 when the Jets had the ball first drive of the fourth quarter, and we basically, me and my dad, we looked at each other and we're like, all right, if they don't score here, we're getting out of here. Sure enough, they got the first touchdown, and yeah, they just kept going from there. It was crazy.
Yeah, the reason why we didn't leave, we're like, because so many people are leaving. We're like, dude, if we leave now, we're going to be sitting in traffic. Yep. So we're going to stay longer to not sit in traffic. And that's just like the only reason why I stayed. Yeah. Tyson in prime time, would you trade Darnold to the 49ers? I wouldn't. And assuming that the Jets are going to trade him, I love the 49ers for two reasons. First, NFC team, great. For Sam, West Coast team with a phenomenal coach. He'll flourish there. Like, I think he would be for him personally, he'd succeed there.
Yeah, if you're going to trade him, it's got to be a team in the NFC. I think you're not trading him, to the Steelers or the Colts, even though, I think you have to a certain extent, look at the value you're getting back. If it's, significantly more to an AFC team, you probably consider it. But if all things are equal, the Saints, the Niners, the Vikings, probably, I think all those teams could be in the mix for Sam.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Tyson, can you check my last comment? Which one is it? Now we got requests for checking comments. Let's see. What positions would you guys think is a need for the first and second round?
wide receiver, and then
Another
offensive lineman, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't mind a young running back, to be honest with you. Another one to pair with Pirine, like more of a speed back.
Statler and Waldorf are the old people from the Muppets. That's the sound we need prime time.
Gotcha.
Another Tuesday night game coming up. So now we can while we're doing our radio show, we could do Ravens Steelers too at the same time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We need more distractions. Let's see.
I think secretly that's what the NFL wants, to be honest, to try and experiment with getting games on Tuesday night, possibly Wednesday night, because they would love to have it on every night of the week if they could, because people are going to watch.
Chad Pennington or Vinny Testaverde?
Chad.
I'm thinking Vinny.
What? What?
Dude, that year in 98 will forever be. That was such a magical year, man. That year he was so good. It was just, and I like Chad. I mean, but to me, Chad, I wish Chad would have stayed.
You don't think Chad's first year where he won the division was better than Vinny's 98 year?
That 98 team was the best team I've ever seen, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that overall team was much. I mean,
Vinny was awesome. Doing Corbett and Keyshawn, he was just like, there were certain throws he makes that you're like, Jesus Christ. Like, I just wish Chad would have stayed healthy. Yeah, like a healthy Chad with his arm, because towards the end, you knew that there were certain teams he couldn't beat just because of his arm strength. You play against the Ravens team where they knew he couldn't throw the ball more than 20 yards with any kind of velocity. You could bunch up and force him.
Yeah, those sideline routes, he couldn't hit them towards the end of his career, and that was like sad to watch.
I love Chad. I have all kinds of autographed Chad shit, but I'm just a Vinny fan. And his career didn't end well here either too. He always threw bad interceptions, like that interception on Christmas Eve. I think I broke shit. I threw things everywhere.
What injury was more devastating? Chad breaking his arm in the preseason game or Vinny with the Achilles?
Dude, that was the worst.
That was the Super Bowl year, I thought, for the Jets, 99.
Sitting there, the minute he went down, I knew it was over. Like, you could see it. The whole stadium went quiet. You're like, fuck, that's not a sprained ankle. I wwent down. I bought 4 beers. I just got back to my seat, and I'm like, that's it. Like, our season is over. The most depressed I've ever been. I mean, I've been depressed at the Broncos, like the championship game losses.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. That was the worst. And they won the game, too. That was great with Tupa coming in and everything else. But
I thought they lost that game.
No, they won that game. They came back and won that game. Yeah. Tom Tupa, baby.
I know Tupa had some big throws, but I think they still lost that game.
I thought they won that game.
I'm 99% they won. They lost. Hold on.
I thought they won that game.
One sec. They lost 30-28.
Did they?
Yeah.
I thought they won that game.
Nope.
Yeah, Tupa had that big touchdown.
Yeah, he almost led the comeback. And didn't they pull him for like a quarter or two, and then they tried putting him back, and he almost pulled it out in the fourth quarter. But
I thought they won that one. Jesus Christ, I'm getting old. I'm trying to think of that's not right either. I was trying to look up another one. Let's see. That 6-2 run was such a fluke last year. You may see another one this year. Can they go 5-1? What's your prediction for the next 6 games, prime time? Since Sam Darnold is back, all the receivers are here now.
Honestly, I feel like they'll probably win at least 2 games. I think this Sunday is very winnable. I think, as one of the comments said, the Raider game is more winnable than we might think. West Coast team traveling to the East Coast, 1:00 game. We beat them last year. And then the final 2 games with the Browns, who probably less winnable with the way their defense is playing right now, but definitely the Patriot game, especially if Belichick is trying to, rob us of getting the number 1 overall pick if it's still in play. So, yeah, those are all winnable games.
We've endured all this 0-10, like, we're tanking. We end up like 3-13, like the 5th pick in the draft.
That's usually how it happens, though, right? I mean, once we start feeling like we're in the driver's seat, we win at least 1 or 2 games that we shouldn't, and that usually sets us back. So,
let's see. Did a couple more. I think I said it last time. Let's see. Hopefully, I mean, we need to go 0-16.
Well, I agree, but I'm just saying I have a funny feeling that we're going to end up winning at least 1, if not 2, maybe 3.
The point with the Raiders is that, yes, the Raiders do that. They're also traveling to the East Coast. This could literally be a trap game if the Jets are 0-11. The Jets, there's certain ways, and Sam Darnold's an X factor, man. Like, there's certain things that, you don't know. You don't really know.
Their car is not unbeatable. I mean, they've been playing well, but that team is far.
They should have won that game against the Chiefs. They should be the Chiefs both times. They played phenomenal, man.
Yep.
And where's all those John Gruden haters at now? The ones that John Gruden's past his time. Mike Mayock doesn't know shit. Raiders are playing phenomenal football, man.
They were getting destroyed last year after the Antonio Brown stuff, and trading Khalil Mack and kind of starting
now the Buccaneers are a shit
turned it around quick too. Yeah.
You can I almost think, what is that? Byron Leftwich is calling the plays down in Tampa. He's gonna be the scapegoat real soon, man. He's gonna be. You think they keep doing that? Yeah, dude. They're already Bruce Arians got the little Gase into him though, because a lot of times they don't think we have all the right plays. The quarterback's got to make the right read. Dude,
fine line doing that with Brady though.
Yeah. Let's see. Is roughing the passer on the bingo board? We're in the best in the league in that, especially Quinnen Williams.
There's penalties on there. I don't think I have roughing, but
yeah, I think we have a demand here that our Let's Talk Jets radio bingo board must be significantly better this Sunday. There's requirements
now that there are other
now it's being copied.
Copy it. Yeah, we have to kind of raise the bar a little bit. So
we definitely do that. Shit, I just wanted to see this. Here it is. Hard to see the Jags winning another game. They are awful. They are awful, but a lot of it was the quarterback. Now I think Mike Glennon's giving an upgrade there, so let's hope. I mean, I don't think
they're awful, but they've been competitive. I mean, they had a lead in the fourth quarter against Green Bay. So to say that any of their games aren't winnable, I mean, I don't personally see them winning again, but
this week is scary as shit. Mac, this week is weird as shit. Like, I don't know. Like I'm telling you, we talked about this earlier. I don't know what to root for, what to look for, to be excited if Sam plays well, be mad. Like
you know exactly what you're rooting for. You want to see Sam suck because you want Gase fired. You don't care if Sam's collateral damage, and that's fine. I totally get the portion of the fan base that's on that side. I'm not holding that against you, but for me, I can't root against him.
Like if he goes 20 of 30, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, I'm good with that.
I think we'd all sign up for that.
I don't want to hear them play well and win, and then Gase say, I finally have my pieces here. Prime time, you'll see this screen like this. It'll go whoop, right, gone. My computer will be broken.
What do you expect him to say? That's what he's gonna say. He's already said it.
That'll be the most annoying press conference ever. Like that, to have him all smug and arrogant. Well, I told you this is what we had. This is our vision. This is our vision. Can you imagine? Dude, I swear to God, this screen, you'll see a crack right in the middle, right down there, cracked. Or you'll see the can go right into, I'll break fucking everything. I don't want to hear that. I just don't. The guy is such a fraud. He really is.
This Sunday.
Could you imagine? He comes out and says that too. Wow, we finally got our offense in the hyperdrive now.
Yep.
The rage on this live stream will go right to shit. Because everybody's mad at you now for your Darnold takes. People lose all kinds of respect for me because I'll go off the deep end. I promise. Jags can beat Browns and Vikings. Well, the Vikings suck. They can beat the Bears too. The Bears are terrible.
Yep.
So, prime times. How's that bingo board? You watched the film this week?
Trust me, I am on the bingo board this week. We'll have it done well ahead of time this week.
And we got to follow it. So there's been some complaints that we don't follow the bingo board. We have it, but we don't follow it. You only have one job, man. I can do all the comments. I got to do all this shit. Just do the bingo board.
All right, I'm on the bingo board. I got you.
Just announced all NFL team facilities will close Monday and Tuesday. Is that true?
Really? Why?
Probably because of the COVID outbreaks, man. It's fucking bad.
So then why are games being played this Sunday? You're going to close it.
It's hypocritical, and the show must go on. They got to make their money. Too much TV revenue.
I don't understand that.
I haven't seen shit. I'm trying to not look at my phone. I get distracted. Yeah, it's COVID, I guess. The NFL is in deep trouble, man, with that because every team is dealing with something. The Jets apparently don't have anything so far, but
again, I'm just seeing the first sentence on Pro Football Talk, which says, in anticipation of the expected spike in COVID-19 cases after Thanksgiving weekend, the NFL has issued a mandate for next week. But again, if it's related to Thanksgiving weekend, why are games being played this Sunday? That makes I don't know.
I don't get it, dude. Prime time, the logins of the show just holding the challenge flag. No, prime time is just waiting. Let's be honest what's going on right now. Last week he came on this and was quiet as a church mouse, was down and dazed and demoralized because his friend Sam Darnold wasn't playing. Now prime time comes look at a smirk on his face now. He has all his Sam Darnold shit ready for Sunday, and he is just waiting for all these big time throws Like, I fucking told you so. I fucking told you so. Oh, I'm waiting for it. Like, I'm ready for it. I have 2 cases of Trulies, dude. 'Cause I'm ready for your shit on Sunday. I can see like you're smiling. You haven't smiled in 3 weeks, dude. I know what you're up to here.
My quarterback is back.
Your quarterback is back. You're absolutely right. I'm ready for all
6 more games. For 6 more games, just let me live. Let me have some hope about this kid. And at the end of the year, if we're 0-16, picking first overall, I'll jump on the Trevor Lawrence bandwagon with everybody else if that's what our new coach wants. But for right now, middle of the season, I'm not giving up on this kid. I'm not going to be a waffler like Steve. I'm staying the course.
Listen, I give you a lot of respect, man, because you stick with your guns the entire time. And I respect it. I'm ready
in the
for
past, it hasn't worked out too well for me with, McCagnon and Hackenberg, but this time it's going to be different. I'm confident.
Third time is a charm.
Yep.
Is it true that what's his face? Becton's leading the Pro Bowl voting. Is that true?
Yeah.
His position?
Him and Braden Mann. And with Mann, I'm a little confused because he's leading the league in punting yards, I think. But with average, he's 23rd. So again, I think it's a fan vote. So I'm not surprised that Jet fans are.
I don't think Mann's. I don't think Mann's gonna make it.
He's actually going. Yeah.
No. Sam should get primetime sunglasses so he can play better.
Just needed his wideouts. That's all he needed.
No, Tyson. Primetime is a different person with his sunglasses. That's true. You didn't have your sunglasses last time.
That's true.
Yeah, this is a fiery primetime now.
I'm feeling pretty good. So.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be. I'm telling you guys all now. The live stream on Sunday is gonna be a primetime. Is gonna be raring to go. He'll probably text me in the morning like, "You ready to do it now? And start now." I can see this. I'm just gonna have to.
First time you actually see me rooting for some good things to happen.
But to be honest, it's nice to have something to watch for. Like watching Darnold is a lot better than watching Flacco do this. I mean, hopefully Gore doesn't play as much, which I doubt, but we'll see. I guess we'll wrap this up here. Sunglasses are rose colored. Well played, Carlos. When Woody comes back, it's going to be crazy. We got to get there first. He's coming back, obviously, but you got to see what the record's going to be.
Should get him on the show.
Woody Johnson?
Yeah.
We can do that. We got to get Joe Douglas first.
That's true.
I mean, if they lose this game, I'm thinking we're gonna have more guests next week. I think if they go a loss here, if Sam doesn't play well, we're gonna have some guests, and I think it's not gonna be pretty. I'm still very intrigued about hearing from Coach Case after a win. I think that would be a phenomenal interview. This. I was watching some old videos on the channel of you defending McCagnon, and then boom, he was fired, and you couldn't believe it, dude. We would have some battles, man. At the time, okay, we got Jamal Adams in the first round. Next year, all right, you get your quarterback. All right, we have all this cap space, that we're saving up. We signed Bell, we signed Mosley, we signed Crowder. I'm like, all right, we're starting to build something here. And then boom, he's fine. I'm like, you just let him spend all that money and go through, the whole draft, take Quinn Williams, all that, and then you fire him. Like, as big of a supporter as I was for him, if that was your intention, fire him before all that. So that just completely threw me off. I didn't see that coming at all. And the thing was, I went off the rails, dude. I was so pissed at how they did it after to let Gase do it, a guy we didn't like to begin with, but the timing of it was so bad. And people you got to see the big picture. You got to see this. I'm like, do you understand the aftermath of this is going to be for the next 3 years? We're going to pay the price for this, which is what we did. Everything we said on that show has basically come to fruition. Every single thing we said on that show. And we got shredded. People are like, I can't watch you guys no more. I can't listen no more. It's same old shit. You're so negative. You have no clue what you're talking about. I'm going to start doing throwbacks on this channel. This day, Let's Talk Jets history. Do it, man. Go back to our old shows. I got some terrible fucking takes out there that are just waiting to be brought up. Not as bad as some of mine. Oh, we've had some bad ones, man. It's just what it is. But the only thing we don't do is we don't delete anything. We keep them all up there. Whether it's tweets, videos, we don't delete anything like some other people. Mm-hmm. So, all right. I guess we'll wrap this up. We'll do what time? What time is Sunday? 12:50? Yeah. And if you want to do the fight tomorrow, I'll be around. Yeah, if we do the fight, we'll announce it. We'll put it on. We'll figure out how we can do that. It's gonna be late though, man. It's probably midnight. Yeah, I guess so. Man, I could live stream boxing. I could give you boxing X and O's too if you guys want. I can give you all kinds of pointers and that shit and UFC stuff. Yeah, whatever you guys want. No, I mean he did. This is true. I did. He liked Hackenberg. It wasn't even so much I wasn't coming on here saying, Hackenberg's going to be a franchise quarterback. I was more just, let's give the kid a chance and actually see him in a game before, we get rid of him. Because, he never
played in a game, and everyone was just like, get this kid out of here, which again turned out to be right. But for a second round pick, you invest that kind of pick in him, you want to at least see him get on the field before you toss him out.
Is he playing baseball now?
He was trying out, I think, as a pitcher. I don't know if he actually made it or not, but I can't imagine his accuracy throwing a baseball could be much better than throwing.
Could you imagine if you're in the batter's box, you gotta be shitting your pants, like, dude.
That might actually favor him though. That might favor him though.
He's probably throws 95. He's got to probably throw.
Yeah.
He has to throw smoke, dude. Can you imagine being? I'm like, I'd be scared lifeless. I'm like, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm just gonna just stand here, just don't hit me. All right, Snoopy, thank you for creating chaos. We didn't get half your messages on there because you're just out of control tonight. So thank you. And we will talk to you guys on Sunday. Enjoy your weekend. And that's it.